Hey everybody, Greyhawk here with a not-so-quick adventure hook. This is the 100th adventure hook I've done, so I've been doing this for 2 years, and I thought doing a little longer one with a little more detail and depth might not be the worst idea. So here we go. Um, this adventure hook is designed to come after Temple of Elemental Evil and kind of bridge the gap between that and some of the later modules that come along. Traditionally, a lot of people always go Hamlet, Temple of Elemental Evil, Slave Lords, um, and kind of work from there. But I never thought that putting the slave lords in there really worked because the idea is you want to bridge between Temple of Elemental Evil and the Vault of the Drow because that's or the Giants Drow series because you have on the one hand you have the Elder Elemental God in the temple and you also have the followers of the Elder Elemental God uh, who are House Islesservs in the Vault of Drow. So you want something to kind of keep that theme going. And there's a couple ways to do this, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. The PCs having just vanquished the temple, and presumably trapped or even destroyed the demoness Tsuktmoy, who is the demon lady of fungi, have is now out of the picture supposedly, or if your Lord Robilar has been freed, depending on how you do it. But in any event, the idea is you want to go on from there. And there's a couple of ways to do that because even though the temple itself is gone, there are lots of hints in the temple that can send the PCs on other adventures that are related to it. So, for example, in the temple, there's a map that shows where all the temple agents are. The village of Sobanwich, which is mentioned on the map, but not really ever detailed, is one such place. So the PCs can go there and kind of root out the remainder of the temple operatives that are in there. But more interesting to my mind is you can then take the action to the city of Verbabank, where there is a huge conspiracy of temple agents. Throughout the city, because originally the city had been one of the bulwarks against the temple and had been instrumental in defeating it the first time. So naturally, the temple decided they needed to infiltrate the city and the Viscounty that when they returned. So there's tons of agents of the temple in the city, and you can have a grand old time. Once you root out the infestation in Sobanwich, and maybe that gets you into the Rangers of the Gnarly Forest. You can establish a big rapport with them. Maybe that's part of the adventure is that you gain them as allies, and then you can go on to Verbabank, and that gives you a whole. You could have a whole host of urban adventures and intrigues, and trying to root out where they are, and maybe there's a special kind of base or shrine or something in there. And remember, the whole thing originally, the whole cult of elemental evil was originally a front developed by Zuktmoy and Ayuz. So if Zuktmoy is out of the picture, Ayuz can still be there, and you can have this kind of be a crossover, so that in the process of of rooting out the agents of the temple, the PCs come to realize that hey, Ayuz is involved in this as well, and then that takes on a whole nother realm of possibility because then you can have you can have the whole kingdom of Furiondi get involved because obviously the whole point from Ayuz's point of view was he wanted to distract Furiondi by having all this stuff going on in the south so he could be active in the north. But if that is blown and the kingdom begins to realize it, then that can open up all kinds of possibilities. Um, and that can actually also lead into once the PCs have done Sobanwich and done Verbabank, they might be high enough level to then take on the Lost Caverns of Sajkanth. And the hook there is that the Lost Caverns used to belong to Igwilv, the Witch Queen, who is Ayuz's mother. So by putting in that hook of the connection between Ayuz and the temple, you then get the PCs involved in more Ayuzian stuff, and one of those things could be, oh, we know Ayuz is sending an expedition to Sojkonth. You need to go there as well and stop him. So you can bring in that whole aspect of it, and then you can all tie it back neatly by then bringing them down into the into the south again for the giant raids, and you might even want to play up the elemental evil aspect of it before the giant, before the PCs even get there. Maybe that's why they're sent there, or maybe it's one of the reasons. So maybe in the process, the lords over in the southwest, hire the PCs to go and take out the hill giants, but maybe someone else who is more familiar with the background, says, "Hey, we also suspect that there's something going on with the Elder Elemental Eye over there, which is the actual god that was behind the temple originally. So maybe something's going on. Maybe this is your chance to finally finish it off, and then you can bring in the whole idea of Lolth and the semi-imprisoned Elder Elemental God, because Lolth also has agents working in the had agents working in the temple. You can bring all that back and wrap it all up into a nice, neat things. But having that bridge between the temple and the giants, and maybe take a detour through Sajkonth through the connection of Ayus, I think all that has a great deal of potential to put in to create something that is truly, truly epic. You could really take your players from first to like 13th level with this kind of thing. So anyway, that is today's 100th adventure hook. Hope you like this one. Hope you've liked this series. I do intend to keep doing them, so whether or not you like them, but I really do hope you do. I have fun doing them, and hope you like this one. And hope you're having a wonderful day. If all goes right, I am right now coming home from Historicon, so there'll be some videos from there coming up, or maybe I've even posted one. I don't even know yet. But anyway, hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.